and welcome to Let's Shop Cake Live, another Christmas special coming up here. So we are now approaching Christmas, so we can continue with all of our lovely Christmas decorating ideas that we've got for you today. And as ever, I've always got something up my sleeve, so I've got some new bits and pieces to show you as well, some of which is already being used on our current cookie cutters, so I've taken those and I've made them do something else magic. So there we go, that's not a bad idea, is it? So today we're going to be having a look at some other bits and pieces. We are on earlier today, we're on at 9:30 for those of you have remembered. Congratulations. For those of you that joined me later, naughty, but you can go back and watch it later on, so you won't have missed out completely. And for those of you that watch in the evenings, and I know quite a lot of you do watch on Saturdays, enjoy, or Sundays, or whenever it is you want to watch it. It's very cold outside, so it's quite nice to stay indoors and watch some nice cake telly instead. Let's call it cake telly, shall we? Right, okay, so today we are, as I say, we are starting a little bit earlier today. We're going to be having a look at some more ideas with my cookie cutters and other bits and pieces that we have got as well. We're going to start by looking at the cake school, of course. So for those of you that are already members of my cake school, you'll know everything I'm going to say to you. But for those of you that aren't, then maybe I can still tempt you to come and join us either now or in the new year, when we could do our beginners cocoa butter cake painting assignment, which we're going to be starting on the 1st of January. So a bit of a New Year's resolution, that would be nice, wouldn't it? You can see the address up on the screen at the moment is letsshopcakelive.co.uk. That's where you're going to find all of the products and bits and pieces that I'm going to show you this morning. So if you do want to buy anything, that's the address you need to put into the website. Pop over there and have a little look. The school is on a different site, but we will come to the school in just a second. We'll go over that. We have got, I'm just going to say this now before we get started, the post is now starting to slow down. We've obviously got Black Friday going on at the moment, so you are going to find that things are taking a little bit longer. So our post is normally 2 to 4 working days. The post office are now advising up to a week. So please be patient. We are posting continuously. We're keeping fairly up to date with everything at the moment. So if you are waiting for anything, we are on it. So don't worry. If you've had a notification to say it's been sent, then please be patient. Everything we send goes via Royal Mail. So that's where you're going to find our stuff coming in from. So we don't use any other couriers. We just use Royal Mail or Parcel Force if it's a huge order. But you will find everything coming in on that. So don't go looking anywhere else. That's where it's coming from. And we will send it out as soon as possible. So today we are going to be looking at, well, we're going to have a look at the cake school in a second, and then some of the other bits and pieces that I've got to look at. I do have another live coming up on Tuesday, so I'm going to be doing another live at 7 o'clock. Now don't forget, my Tuesday lives are not on this page, they are on this page, because loads of you go, I can't find you. That's because you need to go to this one. So that's where you need to go to watch me on a Tuesday evening, or alternatively you need to go to YouTube, which is where it's also going to be streaming out of as well, which is where this is streaming out of at the moment as well. So if you are not a Facebook person and you prefer YouTube, then you can go to YouTube, watch this live now, or you can watch the one on Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock. So Tuesday evenings live, let's take that down. We're going to continue with our Harry Potter theme. So we've been doing lots on Harry Potter recently. We did do the Harry Potter crest or logo emblem, school emblem. It's like something you'd have on a jacket, isn't it? That kind of thing. We did that on Tuesday evening, which I'll show you in a minute. And if you missed it, then you've still got the opportunity to go back and watch it either on my page or on YouTube. If you go to YouTube and go into the live videos, you will find it in there. And so if you want to do it, you want to paint along with me and have a go, then it is there as reference for you. Now we've also, so this week's live, we're going to do Hogwarts, which I have already done. I've already had a little trial run just to make sure I know what I'm doing. Sometimes I wing it, but not this time. I thought I'm going to check to make sure this all works. So I've got an example of what I've done. So all the new Harry Potter stuff has been coming in left, right and centre. As fast as it's coming in, it's going straight back out again. So I'm now expecting a third delivery from PME. So I'm just waiting for that to arrive, and then we can send out the rest of it to you. So on Tuesday evening, so let's bring this one in so you can see it. Let me just do a little switch around. These are very precious. I'm not telling you how long they take to paint, but I'm not going to let them out of my sight or drop a box on them or do anything that's going to upset me with them. Right, here they are. So this is the Harry Potter crest. This is what I painted on Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock. So for those of you that want to have a go at doing that, this is the cookie cutter itself. So if I take it apart, you'll see how it works. So you basically cut out your cookie, pop that in there like so, press it down on my, well actually I did that on sugar paste. This is painted on sugar paste. For just cutting out the cookie, you only really need that bit. And then when you come to do the sugar paste, then you cut it out again and then press down so that you get your markings for the shield itself. You can of course just press it straight into the cookie dough. In that case you'll then get the markings there. But obviously it's not as clear and as dramatic as it is if you paint it. Now if you paint it is a bit of a challenge, I'm not going to lie, but it is fun. And you need to make sure you go onto Google and you download a picture. There we go. That's the picture you want. Be very careful which one you download because there are a number of different ones on there. It gets very confusing. There's one with Hogwarts written over the top of it and all sorts of different things. So if you do decide to do this one, just be very careful you pick the right one. Now I cut mine out on white sugar paste, so obviously you can see that I've done that, and then I painted the emblem over the top, and that step-by-step video is on YouTube, so you can follow it along. You'll find that if you want to stop and catch and do it with me, you can obviously pause YouTube, which is very helpful, but if you want to follow along with that, that is now available. So that was the one we did on Tuesday evening. Of course now we've got another one coming up, so I'm now looking at Hogwarts. So Hogwarts I have done already because I thought I'm going to test this out, see how I get on. Let's move that one out of the way. So this is the Hogwarts cookie cutter. There it is. Excuse me, I've done too much talking in the last few days. Right, so that's Hogwarts. And that is what I have come up with paint-wise. So this is the live that I'm going to be doing on Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock. This one is obviously marginally easier than the other one. The other one is a little bit more tricky and it's a bit smaller than the other one, but it's still highly detailed. So this one I'm going to do live on Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock on YouTube, or my, oops, wrong one. Pressed the wrong picture then, didn't I? Let's go back to that. It might help if I press the right button. So we're going to go onto this Facebook page for this live Tuesday at 7 o'clock in the evening. So if you want to watch that one, you will need to go to that page and watch it all via YouTube. Either or. Now the Harry Potter cookie cutters are all here. There are 8 of them at the moment. There will be another 2 joining the pack next week. We've got 2 more coming in. I tentatively ordered them thinking I'm not sure if people will want these. What a fool I was, because clearly they do. So I didn't order the entire range, so now I've got 2 more coming, which still isn't the entire range, but I'm still tentatively waiting for them to come in. So on the website at the moment we have got the Hogwarts Express and the Hedwig one. Now the the Hogwarts Express is currently, we're waiting for stock on that one, so if you've ordered Hogwarts Express, just need to wait for my delivery to come in on Tuesday and then we can send that out to you. So that's the only one we're waiting for at the moment, and I would like to paint that one live, so that one is coming, but obviously we're starting to run out with weeks towards Christmas. It sort of gallops all of a sudden, but there is the platform 9 3/4. There is the really nice mat that you have. I'm going to just run over here and grab some of them. What did I do with them? I've got another box under here. Oh, there's boxes everywhere at the moment. Right, let me show you what I need. I've managed to find Hedwig, so that's a start. There's Hedwig, there he is. Let's put it up there close so you can see. There he is. There's Hedwig with a letter in his mouth. So that one is one of the ones that we've got in stock. But the one that's out of stock at the moment is the train, but the train is coming. So the train will be coming in next week. So that's fine. There we go. There's that one. So this one, actually I'll show you under this camera for this one. This one is a mat, an embossing mat. So when you roll out your sugar paste on this, it picks up all of these patterns. And then if you use like a round cutter, you can put them on as like cupcake toppers, which I actually think is really easy and really quick. Anything easy and quick is perfect as far as I'm concerned. Or you can wrap it around a cake, or you basically put your cake on there and then use the mat to kind of push it into the sugar paste, or on cookies as well. So this is a very nice one, and I guess if you wanted to paint these little bits and pieces, you could as well. A bit of gold, a bit of black. You could do that on this particular mat as well. So there we go. Let's put that up there. I'm disappearing again. I'll be back in a minute. Just everything's on the other side of the room. It's chaos at the moment, quite honestly. Christmas chaos. Christmas Black Friday chaos. There we go. That's platform 9 3/4 as well. So that one is here at the moment as well. So all the Harry Potter cookie cutters there are on Let's Shop Cake Live. So do go and have a look. They are really lovely cookie cutters. They are enormous. That's all the only thing I would say with them. They are quite big. This one here, for example, is 10 centimetres. Get your ruler out and then you'll see what I mean. They are quite big. The Hogwarts one isn't quite so big, but it's 10 centimetres that way versus, let's go down there and you'll see what I mean. So that's 10 centimetres going that way. And at the tallest point, it's sort of 8 centimetres. So it's still kind of along the same boundaries, I guess, as the rest of the Harry Potter stuff. But there it is. That is what it is. There's the platform 9 3/4. I know a couple of you have said, gosh, they're really big when you get them. I have put all the dimensions on the description. So just check them out before they come, because they are actually quite big cookie cutters, but they're lovely. And I think not only for cookie cutters, but you can, you know, obviously cut them out and use them as images on cakes as well. So that crest, for example, if you were doing like a stacked 3-tier, sort of 2-tier Harry Potter type themed cake, and that crest was bang in the middle at the front of the cake, that would look super good. So I think that for all you Harry Potter fans out there, these also make excellent stocking fillers. So as I say, we have got some stock in at the moment. The third lot's coming in on Tuesday. So if you do want the Harry Potter stuff, and remember as well what I said at the start about the post, please remember that we need to allow a little bit of extra time now, just because of Black Friday. Everything has started to gather pace and the post office is extremely busy. So just make sure you get your orders in time. That's all I'm going to say, because no amount of first class post will speed anything up, I can assure you. Special delivery, which is very expensive, might, but we won't go down that road unless we absolutely have to, because it is so expensive. But there we go. So Harry Potter cookie cutters are here. If you want to paint along with me this Tuesday, it is the Hogwarts Castle. So that one is in at the moment. So if you do want to order that and have a paint with me, or watch it and then paint later on, do that. Don't forget as well, because it's Harry Potter, it's not just Christmas, thank goodness. We've got these all year round, so we'll probably continue with some of the lives into next year as well. But we are obviously live a lot more at the moment because Christmas is upon us. So we're live every Saturday, we're live on Tuesday evenings. This is not going to continue into January, so it will calm down. So make the most of it. But we are doing lives on Instagram as well. So there's lots and lots of different places that you can find me doing all of these lives and bits and pieces and showing you what to do with all these things. It's all very well buying these cookie cutters, but if you don't know what to do with them, it's no good, is it really? So I'm hoping that by showing you a few bits and pieces what to do, that you can make the very best of the bits and pieces that you have bought. Right, so I went off on a tangent then and went completely down the Harry Potter line, which is not where I was heading, but it's okay. But I mentioned the Harry Potter live, so we're just going to nip back to the cake school. We're going to talk about the cake school for the moment. So the cake school this weekend, they have got the train coming. So they've got, literally, the train is coming in. It's not late. It is on time. Somebody said to me yesterday, is it late? And I said, no, it's on time. Here we go. Oh, so this is the one. This is our live on, not our live, this is our new class. There he is. There's our train. So he comes out at the weekend. So I've got the bit that was on the top of it. There it is. So I'm just going to turn it around there. So we have had this year a beginner's cocoa butter cake painting class. Now, if you've already signed up for that and done it, then you're going to find this really achievable. You will be absolutely fine with this. And if you haven't, to be honest, done the beginner's cocoa butter painting class, I still think you'll be able to do this because it's nice and straightforward. It's not complicated. It's just very effective. You don't have to do it on a tall cake like I've done it. You can do it flat. So as long as you've got a nice big sort of 10-inch square cake, you could put it straight across the bottom of the cake or something along those lines. Or you could just do one carriage or one train. You could do a shorter version of it as well. So that is the train. He, whatever you want to call it, the train is coming out today. I should be today. As soon as I get home, I will get the rest of the bits uploaded I need to upload, so it should be out later today. I'm saying should because I'm going to the Netherlands later today, so I've got to make sure I'm organised. I am that person who gets to the airport and has forgotten everything. So this should be out later today. So there we go. Got a little snowman, and there's a Christmas tree, and there's a Father Christmas. So there's all kind of the elements, I guess, from the beginners class all in the back of the train, really. So it's a bit of fun to do. So if you fancy having a go at that, that class should be out later today. Failing that, it'll be out Tuesday, but it'll definitely be out in the next the next few days. The aim is to get it out today, that's for sure. So there's that, and then that is the end of all the Christmas cake courses out on my site. We've obviously had the beginners painting class, there it is. That's going off really well at the moment. We have also got, there we go, we have got our Christmas wreath class there as well. So there's been loads and loads of different things going on for cake classes. We obviously have the lovely penguins. I do love that penguin class from last year. So there's, I think now there's over 25 Christmas classes on there. So there's lots and lots of things that you can do. How do we get the drawings for the cake if we want to do it? Right, if you buy into a cake class, the drawings are included, so they're listed as templates, and you just download them, and then you have everything you need to be able to do your painting. So that's the answer to that question. So everything's included in the online class, including the step-by-step instructions and my lovely voice talking over the whole thing. So that's what you need to do. So just, if you do sign up for a class, you can buy your class and you can keep it, or you can sign up for monthly membership, and we like either. So whichever you would like to do, whichever you feel happiest with. If you want to join the beginners cocoa butter painting class, it's £30, or you can join as a monthly member, and it's included in our top membership, which is £12.50 a month. For £12.50 a month, you get to join the gold membership group, including the Facebook support group, and they are very busy in there painting lots and lots of different things. And if you manage to paint all four, there's a very nice certificate at the end of it as well, so there's something to achieve. Now, with this in mind, obviously for some of you who are now getting towards Christmas, you're thinking, oh, I'm starting to run out of time, I'm not too sure if I've got time to do this. We have got the Beginners Cocoa Butter Painting Challenge, which is our other 4 beginners images. So if you're thinking, right, new year, I'm going to get myself organised, I'm going to have a go in the new year, the Beginners Cocoa Butter Painting Challenge starts in the new year. And you have between the 1st of January and the 14th of February to paint the 4 images. Now, they're not timed, they're not scheduled, they are entirely up to you. So they are all pre-recorded. You paint them whenever you want to paint them. So if you've got half an hour, then you might want to do something. If you've got 2 hours, Sunday afternoon, Wednesday night, it doesn't matter. That's when you can sit and do your pictures. As long as you do all 4, then you can have a nice certificate at the end of it. And then by then you'll be addicted for sure. Most people who start the painting then realise that actually it's very addictive, and what can I do next? So it's all that kind of thing. So if you do want to have a go at doing the beginners painting class in January, all you need to do is just go to the school, buy the class or sign up for it, go to Let's Shop, get yourself a beginner's kit, and then off you go. And then if you have any questions on the way, well, I'm here to help you. So just let me know, and I will more than happily point you in the right direction. So hopefully it will be fairly clear for you. Last year we did it. We had about, oh my God, we had so many people do it last year, and they loved it. They absolutely loved it. And it's a great thing to do in January. It's not very nice outside, it's very cold, and it's much nicer to stay inside, especially when it gets dark at like 4 o'clock, to stay inside and do a nice little bit of cake painting and just relax and enjoy your evening. It's something you can do with a little bit of television on in the background, and you can just sit and paint. You can get quite lost in it. So hopefully if you would like to join, then do go to the cake school. The address is up on the screen at the moment, and you will see everything that you need to see on there. So that will be nice. Do let me know though if you have any certificates. No, the certificates do not come by email. They are posted to you, so we will send them out. It's not the same, is it? We want to have an actual certificate. So all our certificates are here with me. Once you've completed it, you will get that posted to you. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, we will post you a certificate. So anybody, anywhere, you can have a certificate if you do the painting. So it's a nice little thing to have. We have lovely certificates here, very nice ones, very posh ones. So there we go. So we've got lots of other certificates as well. We have a whole page on them. If you go to the membership page of the Cake School, and if you click on certificates of achievement, you will see other ones you can get in there as well. Lots of motivation. We'll get you painting scenery, and we'll get you painting. We've also got an airbrushing one, I think, and then there is, she says off the top of her head, not even thinking she'd go down this route today. There are other certificates in there. You have to look them up. Painting animals, painting wildlife. Let me just get my brain in gear, and all the criteria for getting them is in there as well. So if you are interested in maybe taking cake painting forward in 2024, which is where we're heading, then go and have a look. I'm sure that I can help you with anything that you would like to get involved with. Right, okay, so I think that's everything about the Cake School. We've got other classes coming out next week, so we'll sort those out when we get that far. We just check I've done everything. Oh yes, one more thing. We also have gift vouchers. Now we have gift vouchers on the Cake School, and we have gift vouchers on Let's Shop as well. They are two different sets of vouchers, so be very careful. If you point somebody in the direction of, say you want products, then you need the vouchers from Let's Shop Cake Live. If you want vouchers for classes, then you have got vouchers on the school site, and it is very important that you make sure you get the right way round. Those are emailed, so if anybody's then thinking, do I get a physical voucher? No, you will get an emailed voucher with a code that they can then use on the website to buy whatever it is that they want to buy. So if they want to buy a couple of classes, or you want to buy some physical product, make sure you get the right vouchers. Now we've put the vouchers on the site at £25, but you can have whatever you like in terms of value. If you want a tenner, if you want £150, just send me a message and we will make sure we can send you a voucher of the correct amount. So don't feel that you have to be guided by what we've put up there. If you want something else, please tell me and I will make sure that we can get those to you. We'll do it, we'll process it in a slightly different way. So hopefully that will be something that you can think about. You need to start dropping huge hints. Do you know what? Our biggest sales in the last week leading up to Christmas are vouchers, and they are mainly from husbands and partners, I will say, who clearly haven't got themselves organised. So I do like to think I offer a very good service for helping these people out at the last minute, especially now we email them and they have to print them at the other end. There's no worry about the post, anybody. So if you've got anybody who's not quite got themselves organised and you've dropped masses of hints and it's still not working, then let me know and I will point them in the direction of the gift vouchers, and we'll get you something that you actually want for Christmas rather than what they think that you want. So there we go. Right, let's move on from the Cake School and let's go across to Let's Shop Cake Live. So it is Black Friday. Although we do lots of unique and lovely things here as well, we just have one thing on a Black Friday. We do exactly the same thing every year, and we have Black Friday bags. That's it. We don't do anything else. But our Black Friday bags are almost sold out. So there's only 3 left. If you do want a Black Friday bag, then nip over there quickly to the site, place your order and get it in. If you then decide you want other things from the live and you want to place a second order, that's fine. For those of you who've already put in Black Friday bag orders, if you've had a notification to say your order has left, I'm afraid you can't add to it. You will then have to place another order and pay for your postage again. So Black Friday bags consist of a random selection of cake decorating equipment. There's some edibles, bits and pieces in there. No 2 bags are the same, and we do state that you're not allowed to post pictures of the contents of these bags online because they are all different. We don't want anybody falling out with anybody, and they are also non-refundable. Every year we have them, every year we sell out. We don't offer a huge number of them. We only usually offer about 20. And as I say, we've only got 4 left now. So if you have to be quick, please go and get one as soon as possible because there's only 4 left and they will be gone by the time I get off this live for sure, because they normally are. Once they're gone, I take them off the site completely because I hate the fact that people then go looking for them and they can't get them. That's not a very nice feeling, is it? So we take them off and that's it. So it's just the one thing we do for Black Friday, and everything else we just carry on as normal because it is all about Christmas at the moment and we want to show you all the extra bits and pieces and do lots of lovely lives and dems for you to see. So we did start a little bit earlier this morning. We started at 9:30, so if you are joining me a little bit later, once the live's finished you will be able to go back and watch the start, or you'll be able to go and back watch it on YouTube. So we're going to get going now with some other bits and pieces from our cookie range. So we're going to recap some bits because it's quite nice to keep going back. I have repurposed one of our cookie cutters, so you'll see it and go, oh, I've seen that before. Now let me show you what to do with it. Let's change it all around and send you down another road to look at. So we're going to start very basically this morning. We're going to do quite a bit on the gonks today, so on the gnomes. We're going to have a look at those. We've got the mini one and the large one. So we'll start with that because then we know we're going to be getting off to a great start. So we'll start with that first. So I've got all these green boards behind here, which looks incredibly organised. And it is. But actually, I'll just need to move a few bits and pieces off it before I get started. So we're going to start with the gnomes. We're going to start looking at these this morning. Now, let's put those up on screen. So when we first started doing these, which was, I think it was last year, we just had this one on its own. And we normally do a few things in sets. So we'll do a large and a mini. So a large would indicate it's a cookie that stands in its own right. And a mini indicates that it's a cookie that is on a cupcake. So that's why we call them minis rather than small. Now, last year we did the gonk on its own. We didn't anticipate there would be a demand for a mini, but we did. So we've now bought in the mini at the last minute last year, but we didn't get much opportunity to actually show you anything about it because we bought it in at the last minute, but they are available separately. So if you did buy the large one and now you think, oh, I'd like the small one is available. So we're going to decorate them together at the same time so that you'll be able to see exactly what they look like. I did another version yesterday, which I will show you at the end. So, right, let me get myself organised. So let's move this out of the way, pop that down. There we go. I'll move my green board out of the way. Right, okay. Do I have the cutters for the bear with a heart in his hands? Yep. The latest post seems to have a square. Right, so that is called Teddy with the Heart, and that will be in the cookie cutter section of my website. So you need to go into Tracey's Cakes, into Cake Supplies, and then into Cookie Cutters or Valentine's Day. It could be in there, and you will find it. So have a look for that. But the latest one is holding a present. He's our birthday bear. Right, okay, so what have we got here? So let's do we'll do a powder blue one, I think. Should we do a blue one? Got blue with a bit of red in there. What colour have I got in there? Oh, I've got navy in there, even better. Right, let's move things around a little bit so we've got some space. So we're going to set up the cocoa butter painting before I get going. So this is just the bit I'm going to use to highlight things. So I'm just going to light my tea light that's under here. So this is a chrome food warmer with a tea light in the middle, a metal paint palette that's sitting on top, and that's cocoa butter there. You can see it's set, and that's because I just put the flame away when I finished painting last time. I'm just going to put a few extra bits in there, and obviously not in there. I don't want it in there. And we're just going to let that heat up. The metal paint palette will get hot and all of this will start to melt. These are dusting colours which we can use to mix with our cocoa butter, and that is what I use to do my cake painting, and it's also what I use to enhance everything else. So if you are someone who's interested in just doing a little bit of painting here and there, then this is the gear that you need. So we do beginners cocoa butter painting kits that are on my website. The chrome food warmers are on Amazon, so if you want to buy one from Amazon, then nip over there and have a little look at that. I'm trying to decide whether this gonk should have a navy hat or a blue one. I'm thinking, I think we'll go pale blue, maybe. Or maybe we go navy. I'll tell you what we'll do, we'll go navy with pale blue. Right, change of plan here. We're going to go navy blue. A navy blue hat, I'm going to pop that there with, oh, there we go, get that going. I'm going to go navy blue hat with a navy blue shoes and then a pale blue, I was going to say dress, but it's not a dress, is it? He's definitely not wearing a dress. Right, actually the only other thing I'm looking for is the royal icing, but we'll sort that out in a minute. I'm sure very organised. I brought that down. Yes, I have. I've spotted it. Okay, good. Everything is good. Okay, there we go. So I'll give that a bit of a need to start with. I've been using this. I'm going to use this later on for snow globes because I think navy is a really nice Christmas colour actually, and I'm going to go through what to do with the little mini snow globe images. There's 3 different things you can do with them, so we're going to go through those later as well. But we'll start with the gonks because that's what we've decided to do in no particular order. We're going to do 2 at the same time, so we're going to do a large one and a small one. They're going to be exactly the same, and then you'll be able to see what they look like as large and small. Right, little bit of icing sugar down to start with, bit of navy sugar paste, and then we'll just give that a bit of a roll. I've obviously got some yellow on there, that's helpful, isn't it? Where's that come from? The yellow dusting colour on my rolling pin. Luckily it's dark, so hopefully it won't stand out. Roll that out to start with. There we go. Right, let's start with the large one. I've got to try and cut around this yellow bit here, so we'll pop that on there. So the bit I'm interested in is the top of the hat. I'm not really interested in the other bit. Take that away for the moment. And then just pop that. I'll pop that onto there. I should have cut it out on there, never mind. I'll flip it over, and then we'll just press along there, which is the top of the hat. So I need that line, that's very important. Make sure I get my line in. Let's turn that back. There he is. Now, what do I do with that? There we go. Right, let's do the same with the other one. So we're going to do the mini at the same time. I'll remember to put it on the thing this time. Pop that on there. It just helps flip it over. It's not essential, but it just helps with the process if you've got it there. Turn it over, just because you need that line, you need to press it down. Otherwise it's a little bit more tricky. Okay, turn that back. There we go. So we've got 2 so far. Let's take our cutting wheel. Let's bring it down a bit. My camera's a bit further forward today. And then we'll take that bit off there. Make sure we've got that all off. There we go. And then we'll do the same on this side here. Okay, we're going to keep these little bits because we're going to need those to make his shoes later. I've got the 2 hats. Pop those there. And then we're going to now roll out the lower half. So we'll do the bottom bit of the gonk. So we've got this going. So this is actually all Colour Splash blue, but in different strengths. So for the navy blue, I've really put in loads of dye, and for the pale blue, I've just put in a lot less. So you can alter colours without actually, so I didn't go out and buy 2 different colours. I've got exactly the same colours. Okay, so you just put in less of it, and then you get two different shades, but from the same packet. Go. Roll that out. Try not to squash that, that's the most important bit. And then we are going to take hold of this one. I'm going to put some icing sugar on there, pop that down, press that on there. So we need the lower half this time. So let's make sure we get it on there, press down, give it a wiggle, take it away, flip it over, and then the same as before, just press down. Got to press down his beard this time, right down to the bottom, so you know where that is. Like so. Take that bit out. That's the lower half. And then we'll do the same with the small one, which I nearly lost then. He's a tiny little thing. Don't forget he's cupcake size, you see, so he's meant to be small. And take that away. Oh, flip it over, press down his beard, like so, and then turn it back round. Well, there we go, all sorted. Right, again, we're going to just take our cutting wheel. So the bit we want this time is get rid of the hat completely. And actually, what I then did, I did actually get rid of, did I get rid of the nose on that one? Do you know what? It actually doesn't matter because you're not going to see it anyway. No, I didn't. Leave it where it is. Probably help with lining it up anyway. Right, there we go. We've got our component parts that we need for this. Let's move everything out the way and try and look organised on a live. That would be a first. Right, okay. Sort of pretending I know what I'm doing here. Right, so in here I have got some royal icing. So royal icing that I have added a lot of water to so that it's become like a glue. If you have a look at it there, you'll see what I mean. So it's just a wet glue. Okay. And then we're just going to paint that down here. And I know exactly the next question that's coming is how long in advance can I do these? And the answer to that question is cookies normally a week to 10 days. Are fine in advance, so they last a bit longer than cake. So we'll do both at the same time. I think this is the thing as well, if you're going to do these, if you do them en masse, they're much quicker to do than if you do one individual one at a time, because obviously you're spending a lot of time concentrating on just one, whereas if you do all the hats, all the bottoms at the same time, it is a lot quicker. There we go, I've got them there, and then we'll do you as well. Pop your hat on, pop the bottom on. And we'll put him on a cupcake later because I've got some cupcakes here today. So you can go on a cupcake later just to prove it works. All right, there we go. Right, next thing we're going to do. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do actually is wash my hands because I've got navy blue on my hands. I don't particularly want to make his nose with a hint of navy blue, so I'm just giving my hands a bit of a wash. That's better. That would be a disaster otherwise, wouldn't it? Right, okay. So I've got a little bit of pale pink here that I'm going to just use for his nose. So we've got two noses to make, a large one and a very mini one. So it's amazing actually when you're rolling something like this, you don't realise how big it is until you put it on the actual thing itself. Actually, that's not too bad, but I think this needs to be about half of what I've currently got in my hand. Yep, that's fine. That was lucky. A lucky day today. Right. So just take a blob of royal icing. Just put a little blob in there. And then we'll just pop that nose on there and that nose on there. So they're just like little ovals, so just roll a ball and just turn it into a bit of an oval shape and just press it down and follow the lines that you've got there, like so. Okay, I'm going to take hold of my cutting wheel here and I'm just going to put some little arm marks in there on both of them, like so. There you go. And then I'm going to go back to my navy and I'm just going to make some little shoes for them. So I'm just going to try and do the, let's see what this feels like. This feels like maybe the one for the small. So I'll take this and break it in half. I think it's too big for that. Take this, take one piece and then cut it in half. That's how I do these things. Cut it in half. Got more chance of it being equal then. Let's see how big they turn out. I quite like them to be fairly big, but I think actually they may still be a little bit on the large size, so we'll do it again. Don't want him to have the most enormous shoes ever. I don't think it matters particularly, but you know what I mean. Right, okay, I thought the little ones would be a bit more trickier than the big ones. Right, so we'll put a little blob there and there. Oh, actually, I'll tell you what I'm going to do before I put the shoes on, because I went down this hole. I'm going to pipe his beard on first, because it's much easier. Let's do that. Right. Okay, so I'm using piping nozzle 43, which is like a sort of a star shell nozzle, but you could use anything really. It doesn't matter particularly, but I'm going to just come down here, and I'm just going to pipe a little beard down here. You could do this with little strings of sugar paste instead, so if you prefer not to do any piping and you'd rather just do it with sugar paste, then you could just take a little some little lengths of sugar paste and stick those on. I've got a piping bag here, so of course I'm going to pipe mine. I'm just going to organise the a little bit better. So anything like PME 5, 43, 42, those kinds of nozzles. Just pull that down a little bit, make sure it's all right to the end. There we go. Right, let's do the same with the large one. Then we'll put your shoes on. So we can have your shoes on in a second. Again with this one. Obviously he's a little bit easier to pipe because he's larger. Okay, we just make sure that top bit there matches up okay. Make sure it's all covered. And down to the end. So there are a few gonk themed things on our website. So you've got the gonk cookie cutters, you've got the gonk wallpaper, which is what we've been using to cut out and put on various bits and pieces this year. We've also got the gonk transfer sheet. Now I think the gonk transfer sheet, there's only about 10 left, so if you want one of those you need to be quick, and that's what you would use to make like chocolate lollies and bits and pieces. Now you can have your shoes. Pop your little shoes on. They're still quite big, but it doesn't matter. Actually I think it'll be alright when I press them down. Okay, right, you've got yours on. Let's do yours. Let's put those on there. So let's take hold of some of this sugar paste and then we're going to give it a roll. Just make sure they're roughly the same size. You could do a whole family of them, couldn't you? These would be good place settings, you know, when you start Christmas Day maybe and you've got these on your place settings, you could write people's names on them if you wanted to. We're going to decorate them in a second. I'll show you what to do with that in a minute. So we are going to paint them, but I'm going to show you lots of different ways you can do them as well, because I don't want people to just think, oh, it's just painting and nothing else. You can do other things. There we go. So we've got our two little gonks. There they are. So we've got our large and our mini together. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take hold of some snowflakes. Now we do sell snowflakes on their own completely, or they do come in the Christmas tree sprinkle mix. They're also in the frozen blue Christmas tree sprinkle mix and the pink one. So the snowflakes are in quite a lot of the Christmas mixes. But if you just want a whole thing of snowflakes, we do a whole thing of snowflakes as well. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take hold of our royal icing. And oh, not with that nozzle, we're not. Let's find a nozzle that's smaller. If we use that nozzle, it will be everywhere. Let's see what we've got. We could do with like a number 2 or something. Yeah, perfect. That's what I picked up. Okay, so just switch our nozzle over. So we've got one that's not completely enormous. I'll go down to piping nozzle 2. Juggling going on here. So I'm just trying to unscrew the adapter. There we go. Pop that one on instead. Let's try that one. That's better. There we go. Right. Okay, now we're up and running, including a free bit of cling film. I don't know where that came from, but I don't want it. Right, I'm going to just pipe some little dots going across here like so. And then I'm going to take my snowflakes and I'm going to stick them down. So I've left a little gap between each one, and you'll see as it goes up what I've done with this. So when you look at the gonk hats, because obviously I've been looking at gonks over the last few days, different patterns, there's all sorts of different things, different patterns. Lots of them are quite intricate, and I did think, oh, how are we going to do this? How are we going to make this look just as nice as the original ones are? But I think I've solved it. So I think let's see what you think about at the end of this, whether you would agree that I've managed to pull this off as such, and you can tell me whether I've hit the nail on the head or not. I'm sure you will anyway. So we're going up a little bit further here. They are going at a little bit of an angle, so just be careful when you do it. that you don't make just dead straight lines. If you look at it there, you can see it sort of goes like that. So be careful you don't go straight across. So I'm just using my little snowflake cutter, sprinkles, cookie cutters, what am I talking about? Sprinkles, which of course, if you want to paint them you can, but I just thought this was a bit quicker, and actually it's just as effective, I think. So we'll go with this option. 2, 3, and then we'll do 2 more up here and then we're done. And we'll put 1 on the top, how about that? So then we put 1 up there, and then 2 there. 1, 2. There we go. Right, now let's do something similar for you, but obviously on a much smaller scale. It's like his and her, or parent and child matching outfits, isn't it? The family of Gonk all went out to a Christmas market. There you go. Can't believe how big this is, this whole Christmas Gonk thing is. It's massive. Right, I'm just going to pipe all of these so I can get to the top a bit quicker. There we go. So you do need the royal icing to hold these in place. Sticking them down with a bit of water is not going to work. A little bit of sugar glue might work if the sugar paste is soft, but I don't think you can go wrong with a little bit of royal icing holding them in place for this, to be honest. Right, so there we go. Done. Right, okay, now next thing we're going to do, obviously we could leave it at that point and go, there we go, that's my Gonks done, but I am going to be doing more than that, of course I am. So I'm going to bring my painting gear in. I'm going to be rapidly looking for my paintbrush number 1. Hopefully it's here. Yes it is. Right, I'm going to grab some kitchen roll. I'll just make sure our paintbrush is clean. Doesn't have red in it, which apparently it does at the moment. Clean that all out, because obviously red and white makes pink. We definitely don't want that. We want white. So let's make sure it's all cleaned out. Nearly there. Trouble is with strong colours, they always linger no matter what you do. Look at that. Right, let's grab some white. So white dusting colour. Give that bit of a mix. For those of you in the UK, so that's anything that contains E171. Anybody outside of Europe, your white, which doesn't contain E171, will mix up, but it will mix up in a much sort of grayer colour. So you might be better off piping this if you're finding that this paint is not working for you. Okay, so I'll give that a bit of a mix. So I'm just looking around for what I thought I had brought with me, but I haven't. That's okay. Right. Okay, so all I'm going to do is take hold of my paintbrush, and I am just literally going to run a line across here. So this is what I was saying. If you prefer to pipe, then you can. But the reason I am painting is I just preferred to have the look of the snowflakes being a little bit more 3D than the painting. So there we go, and then we're going to put another line in there. Take that away, don't know what that is, but we'll remove it. Now I have filmed a TikTok for this. I haven't actually put it out yet. I'm filming lots and lots of videos that help you to remind you how to do these at very high speed. So these videos are no longer than about a minute. They're not any detail particularly. So if you want to hear the rest of it, then obviously you need to go back and watch the YouTube videos. But if you are wanting a reminder, then the Gonk video will be out sooner rather than later. Probably later today. Okay, so that's that one. Right, let's bring this one in. You're a little smaller, so maybe you will be, well, you'll be quicker anyway. So just putting in a little line there. Don't know if I'm going to get all the lines in on this one that I want quite the same as the other one, but that's okay. We can just adapt, can't we? Because that's the point of this, being very able to adapt what we're doing. Right, now, next stage. We need a dotting tool. These are my dotting tools. I talk about these quite a lot on my school particularly, but also on lives, because they are brilliant. You can see on there very, very, very tiny little dot, but that very, very tiny little dot is perfect for making exact round dots for when we do painting, and you'll see what I mean in just a second. So we're just going to put it into the paint. Before I actually go any further, I'm going to just mix up a tiny bit more paint because I am running out a little bit, so I'll make that a little bit more. A bit more paint now. There we go, that's better. And then we can put our dotting tool in, and then we're going to go across here. So this is kind of to replicate that some of these very busy patterns that you can see on these gonks, because I've seen them, I've been investigating. You put up, you go on to Google and put in gonks, you will have more inspiration on there than anywhere else, but it will then give you the ideas to then be able to do this. And you'll be able to look at it and go, yes, I know what to do with this. And that's as high as we're going there. And then we'll go between the snowflakes. I have to keep reloading it every time because to get a full dot, I've got to keep dipping it back in there, but it doesn't take that long. Pop that in there, and then in there, and then I think I'm running out of space up there, so we'll just call it quits up there. Then I'm going to flip it over because it's narrower on the other side, and I can get a much smaller one then, and I can get in a bit more detail with my pattern by going in between these. So I've got another one I did yesterday in a second, so I've got a red version here as well, so you can have a look at the comparisons in a minute. What I normally do is we'll have a little vote on Instagram as to which one you like best. That's always fun, just to hear what people are saying. And then we'll go across here and we'll just put a little line of small dots going across here, just above his first line here. We'll only do it on this one, just because it's the bottom of his hat. I know some of you did these last year, so I'm hoping for those of you that are seeing them for the first time, you'll understand now what it is that's on our website, because you look at the website and think, what is that? This is what it is. I'll put a little blob on his nose as well, a little bit of light there as well. There you go. The metal paint palette tray is on my website under cake painting, so if you want one of those, go into Tracey's Cakes, go into cake supplies and go to the top and go into cake painting. Scroll down till you find cake painting, and then you'll find the metal paint palettes are in there. They're also included in the kits as well. If you can't find anything on the site, I will always point you in the direction, but I can't do that while I'm live, but that's what you need to do. Right, I'm just going to adapt this one a little bit, because obviously we don't have the second lines in here because it's not as much space. So we'll just put a second line in there, and hopefully we'll get away with it. He will have to have an adapted version, and I think we'll be fine. I don't think anybody's going to be holding them up together and looking at them too closely. There we go. So this has been done with Colour Splash Navy, which has been kneaded into the sugar paste. So it's gone in very thick very dark rather, for the main hat, and then a much paler version for the body. Let's put a little blob on your nose as well, a little white highlight there. There we go. Ta-da! Gonks for Christmas, so you can't go wrong with those. Let's bring those down a bit because my camera's at a funny angle today. There we go. All right, so that's how to do the gonks. They're very straightforward to do. Again, you don't have to do them on cookies if you don't want to. If you want to just cut them out and put them onto a cake, you can do that. Let me show you the version I did yesterday. So I had to run through it and remind myself what I was doing. It's amazing what you forget over the years, or over the year, not the years. So that's the version I did yesterday. I did a red one yesterday and I've done 2 navy ones now this morning so that you can see the difference between them. So it gives you different ideas. This one seems to be the more kind of traditional one that you see online. I did that red with a grey background here. This one, again, I have seen quite a lot of these navy ones, but maybe I've seen more of those, I don't know. But I have done those backgrounds there today. So I hope that you like them and I hope that you feel that they are inspiring enough to have a go at. Now you can do so many things with the hat. I think that's the focus on this, is to think about the hats. What am I going to do with the hat? Because it's the biggest part of the whole thing. By having the navy here and the navy here, it brings it together. So it does balance it. So whatever colour your hat is, I would recommend you have the same colour as shoes, so that it does actually match. And obviously this is our little mini one that sits on top of a cupcake, and we'll pop him on a cupcake later on. But they are nice and easy to do. So these are the cookie cutters. This is what they look like. They're available separately. So this is large and this is mini. I'm going to put a new picture of the mini one up later on, but I needed to make it this morning so I can change the image, but you will see him. I think it's him who's up there at the moment. You'll be able to see him on there, and so you'll be able to understand exactly what it is. They are lovely, aren't they? People seem to go crazy over these gonks. It's something I would say I must be fairly new, because I'd never heard of them until maybe even a few years ago. So, but there we go. So that's the Christmas gonks. That's what we've done with there. Now, to remind you that we do also have the gonk sheet, and we also have the gonks on the snow globes. So if you want to do other gonk themed things, then don't forget as well, we do have them on these sheets here, which we're going to run through shortly. There he is. That's our Christmas gonk on there. Pull it down a bit so you can see it. We're going to go through some ideas with these sheets in a second. We also have a full sheet of them. We have them for large snow globes as well. There's the large gonk there. So if you want to do snow globes with large gonks on them, that is there as well. Now there is a gonk sheet, but I'm not sure I've got it. Oh no, I have. Here we go. So if you'd like the gonk to have his own gonk hat, or you want to make matching gonk things to go with his, to go with him. In fact, I did do that the other week. Let me just bring that in. I made, where are we? I'm sure I did it on that one. Yes, I did. So I made a gonk hat. Okay, so we've got a gonk themed hat to go with our gonks themselves. So I've just used that to cut out my shape for my hat. Now I also have matching hats and mittens as well. So if you fancy doing a bit of a winter range, then we have mini hats and large hats. That obviously the mini ones go on top of the cupcakes, and the large ones are ready for you to do whatever. The other thing, of course, as well, we can make baubles, which we're going to move on to next, and then I'll show you what you can do with this pattern as well, and also the little mini snow globes, which we're going to move towards shortly. Right, let's have a little change around and let's get on to something else very exciting. I've been threatening to do these snow globes for weeks, so I'm now going to do them. I'm going to move these out of the way. All the pictures for this I'll put up at the end on Let's Shop so that you can go back and have a look at them all. But we're going to now have a look at the mini snow globe. There it is. So this is our cupcake mini. So it's considerably smaller than the actual snow globe, which I will bring up now so you can just see the comparative difference between them. There they are. They are quite a bit smaller than the main snow globe. Are they even on the screen? Yes, they are, just about. So that's our mini. There it is. And that's our large one. So the large one is a cookie that stands in its own right. The mini ones are for cupcakes, so they are completely different. And then you could have something else there. So I got very distracted by someone mentioning the word Mr. Whippy ice cream on the screen. I lost my train of thought then. My mind went elsewhere. So I'm going to just show you how to put the mini one together, very similar to the large one, but I'm then going to put it on a cupcake later, so again you can see how it fits onto a cupcake. So we've got a few cupcakes to do at the end today. Right, so we're going to put you out of the way. We're going to bring in our sheets. So we've got one I had in my hand about 2 minutes ago, which means nothing. Right, and scissors. Now I put my scissors out here deliberately today so I would not lose them. But that doesn't mean anything either, because now I can't see them. I'm going to play hunt the scissors for a minute. What is it with me and scissors? Every time I go live, my scissors start moving around. Right, while I scan for my scissors, oh, they're behind me. I knew I'd put them out. I haven't got the larger pair out today, so I wouldn't lose them. Right, let's carry on with our gonk theme, shall we? So we're going to take hold of one of these and we're going to cut one out. So now these were invented for the snow globe cookie cutter, but we've also been using them on cupcake wreaths. I'm going to show you something else you can do with them as well as a different idea shortly. So we're going to, so these are edible sheets. They have clear backing paper on the back of them. That has to come off. If you put water on them, the paint will come off. So it's very, very important you do not touch the front of them with wet hands, otherwise you'll find that all the pattern will come off and then you will be left with nothing. So that's the number one tip with these. Also, we deliver them to you in a plastic bag and an envelope, and you need to keep them in there until you're ready to use them. Please don't leave them exposed to the air. They then have a backing sheet on them. You see that there? That has to come off. There you go. That's got to come off there. And then we're going to take hold of that. Now we're going to get hold of some royal icing to start with. So when I made these, again, there is a little TikTok on how to make snow globes. So I'm just throwing my gnome around. He's fallen next to me. Let me put him over there so I don't lose him. There is a little video on how to do these. So I'm just going to put a little blob of royal icing on there. Not too thick. I'm going to pop that on there like so. Okay, so that bit's done. We'll move that out of the way and now we focus on this bit here. This is the bit we're worried about. We're not worried about anything, but that's the bit we're thinking of. So we're going to do navy blue. So we're just going to, again, give this a bit of a knead. Bit of icing sugar down. We'll pop that there. And then we'll roll that out. And then we'll pop that on there like so, press down, give it a wiggle. Okay, we'll take that out. And that as well. And then we're going to put that on there in the middle. Hopefully that's in the middle. And press down, give it a wiggle. Okay, there we go. All right. And then we're going to take hold of some icing, or well, I say icing rather than water, because water will just soak into the cookie, whereas this will sit on top. You don't want to be putting wet water really onto a cookie you're trying to keep crispy. There we go. Like so. So we've got that on there like that. Press that down, move that out of the way. Right, piping bag. Let's get hold of the plastic side scraper next. And then we're just going to put some marks on here. Like so. We're going to go across. There we go. And then we're going to take hold of our piping bag. And we're just going to put some little spots on there, like so, and then we'll take our snowflakes again, and you can use other things if you want to. If you want to use like in the Christmas tree sprinkle mix, there are stars and all sorts of other bits and pieces that you can use. The one we've got on the website called Magic Spell Potion, we've actually kept that on for Christmas because, again, it's full of different stars. So actually that does work quite well for Christmas as well. Probably Harry Potter things as well if we're going down that road. Let's take that out of the way, pop that there. Okay. Put the lid back on before I knock it over. Grab hold of my dotting tool again, and we'll just put a little spot in between. Just so it looks a bit more snowy, I guess, I don't know. Like so. I'm just going to push that up a bit because I think it's fallen a bit. There we go. Make sure we don't obstruct the view. Right, now you will need thicker royal icing to be able to stick this down. There's no point in putting that wet, runny, sort of sticky glue. You need the thicker stuff for this. Otherwise, it's just gonna, it won't work, basically. You've got to have it at full, so like when you've made it originally. Okay. Like so, and then we'll pop that on top. Press down, just hold it for a second. And then using our little Kelly's sprinkles, so our little tiny sprinkles here, which are these ones, you can then just take hold of it, take your icing, and then just pipe at the bottom there. A little bit of snow, it will just look like white snow. And that can then be where these sprinkles go. So the best way to do this is literally just drop them onto that little bit of icing. Push them around, put it back down again, because don't forget this is still soft. Just push them in until you've got as many into position as you can. Like so, and then just tip, and then any excess ones will just fall out. And then you can see it there, it's super mini. Can you see it? It's ever so tiny. It's very, very sweet. Oh, I love these. I think they're so cool. You can also paint the base as well if you want to. So if you grab hold of your paintbrush, what I'll do is I'll take that one because it's got no paint on it. Find one without any paint on it. It'd be a lot quicker then. If I just take some little bit of black, now if I just go across the bottom there, I can just paint that, and then it just makes the stand look a little bit different from the base. There we go, the base and the top rather. Okay, it's still sliding about in the minute because it's not set, so it's important that you don't sort of muck about with it too much. So that's the mini and that's the large. So you can see the difference between the two. They are quite significantly bigger. So just make sure that you order the right one. So this is the one that's sort of very good for sort of large cookies and that's it. This one is for cupcakes to go on top of there, or to fill up holes in treat boxes. We've got a treat box to show you at the end today as well, so you can have a little look at that. All right, so that's how that we've used the little tiny circles there. I'm going to move these out of, well, we're going to put that there for a second. And very importantly, put the lid on these sprinkles because they are the smallest of the sprinkles. And if they're going to go absolutely everywhere. And I'll be finding them for the next 6 months, I suspect, because they will get into every single place I can possibly imagine. I don't even want to think about it, to be honest. So let's not go that route. Okay, let's just have a little mini clear up because we have got some sprinkles that are now invading my space. So I'll just take those, tidy up a little bit. Okay, so I said we were going to be looking at this sheet here, so we're going to continue with that now, and we're going to cut out another one. So let's cut out the penguin, shall we? We'll do him next. Actually no, we won't. We'll cut out the tree. There's a reason for that in a second. So we've got here a van. It says Merry Christmas with a Christmas tree on the back of it. We will cut again a circle around that, like so. So it's me just looking for something just to make sure I've got it with me, otherwise I'm going down the wrong, I'm off telling you stuff that is not going to work. Okay, so we'll go round. So you do have to cut these out. Remember, you've got to have dry hands for this. I've stopped going to the sink now because otherwise I will end up causing loads of trouble. Make sure you take that backing off. You can take the backing off before you cut it out. It's probably a little bit easier to do it that way than the way I'm doing it. I'm going to grab myself a little bit, don't need huge amounts of white sugar paste. How much would I charge for the large gnome? I don't know. I don't sell these kinds of things, to be perfectly honest. I mean, if you've then got to put it in a bag, I don't know. Depends how long it takes you to make them and your costs. The best thing to do is just make a batch of cookie dough, make some up and time yourself and see how long it takes. But I think you could easily probably get, I don't know, maybe $3.50 for one of those, maybe a bit more. I don't see why not. I'm going to use my little mini snow globe centre cookie there. Right, now I'm going to take some of this icing. I'm going to be a bit careful with this. Just normally use water, but I'm just going to use a little bit of royal icing again. Just pop that there and we'll stick that on there, like so. Done. Right, let's grab a cupcake. And then what we'll do with that, let me grab some icing, which I have prepared. I prepared earlier. Just got to make sure it's actually coming out of the bag in this not hot weather, the reverse of that, isn't it? Cold weather. Buttercream in bags this time of year is a nightmare. So I'm just going to run it under the tap to make sure it's actually moving, which it appears to be. The buttercream I prepared not even that long ago, and already it's started to set. Just what it is this time of year, isn't it? So we did something similar like this last week with the penguin, which I'm going to put on the screen at the moment while I just go and get this buttercream working again. So that's the one we did last week. So we're going to do something very similar to that when this buttercream decides to cooperate. Right. Before we go live, we pre-prepare all these bags, but in the meantime it gets cold and then it won't come out of the bag. So it is coming out the bag now, so that's all fine. I'm going to do a darker one this time. So I've got water on my hands. I'm just trying to make sure I don't touch. Make sure I don't touch that image. Otherwise I'm going backwards before I've gone forwards. There we go. Right, let's put you over there for a second. So I tend to use Wilton 18, but you could use any of the nozzles that I was using earlier on the Gonk. So if you've got a 42, 43, 44, any of those is fine. Let's press that down so we don't have that moving around. And then we're going to go round just in a little circle. Hopefully my bag's not going to burst because it does feel like it's being naughty. It'll warm up in a minute. I thought I'd try a dark green this time rather than the light green. So the light green one is, let me think what it is. Colour Splash green, leaf green. This one is holly green, I think, so it's a bit darker. There we go. So we're just going to put a little wreath cupcake. So this is something else you can do with those snow globe images. So just apart from making the mini snow globes, you can make cupcakes as well. And it's quite nice to see some different designs. Whoops. Right, if you've got a bit that comes with you, get rid of it. There's about, oh, you're going to ask me now, aren't you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 32 images on the snow globes. There's also another sheet, but I think it's got marginally less, like 2 less or something, from last year that we used for these. Oh, this one looks like a sort of forestry, sort of, that's quite apt considering it's got the Christmas tree on the back, isn't it? So I'm just going round in circles, literally, and just, my buttercream's behaving now because it's warmed up, so that's good. We can stop worrying about that now. Goody. Round we go. Nearly there. Okay, done. Right, let's get hold of this now. We have run out of this mould at the moment. We've got another mould on the site called the bow mould. This is Tiny Decorations. Now, Tiny Decorations and the bow mould have a similar bow on it, which is why I'm still carrying on using this mould. But you would need to have a look at the site for the bow mould. So the little bow that's on here is this one, is also replicated on that bow mould, but I think we've run out of Tiny Decorations at the moment, and unfortunately the supplier takes forever to actually bring us any stock, so the likelihood of getting that in before Christmas, about 0. So bow mould is what you need for this one, and actually it's got some really nice bows on it. We're going into Bridgerton mode again soon, aren't we, because Bridgerton is coming back, so I'm sure that the bow mould will be in good use. Right, so pop that in there, a little bit of sugar paste, bend that back, pull that off there like so, and then we'll pop that on there, like that, and then we'll go to our Christmas tree sprinkle mix, pop that over there, and we'll have a look in here and see what we've got. So, I mean, this could be where you get very carried away with decorating it all beautifully and colour coordinated. My tree is a bit of a nightmare. It is completely and utterly awful. I'm known for having this terrible tree with no coordination on it whatsoever. But you know what? I love it, so I don't care, to be honest. Right, let's put some little white snowflakes in here. So this is all coming out of the same mix. This is the Christmas tree sprinkle mix, which we sell absolutely loads of every year because everybody loves it. It's such a nice little, it's what we use to decorate our 3D Christmas trees with. So if you want to have a go at decorating chocolate Christmas trees, again, there's a video over on TikTok, have a look at that. I do post these videos up quite a bit, and if you see them, don't forget to like them, because then if you like them, you'll get to see more of them. They will appear automatically, so don't forget to like them as well. Just do a few more red ones on there, and then I think my head says we need a few more different colours in there. Maybe not. Let's have a look at it. Maybe we've got to be good. Maybe I've got to resist. Oh, I know what we'll do. Let's get some of these little white sprinkles. Let's put a few of them on. Actually, that might look really nice. Yes, you see, I do have some taste, you know, just maybe not on my own Christmas tree. My tree is up. It has been up since the 10th of November, not because I love Christmas, but because Kelly came home and she wanted it put up. So I said, fine, okay, we'll do it. So Christmas has started very early in our house this year, but that's okay. We'll pretend it's not happening. And actually, because I'm doing all these lives continuously, by the time it gets to Christmas, I've done Christmas, I'm on Easter by then, which is really weird. There you go, that looks quite nice, isn't it? Let's pop those in place. You've got to be quick with sprinkles and buttercream because buttercream sets. And so you've got to kind of do your sprinkles as you go along, otherwise it's not going to work. There we go, happy days. So yeah, make sure you stick them on as you go. Right, let's bring both of these in so you've got an idea what the difference is between these two there. So there we go, we'll have another little play on Instagram later with a which one do you like best. So there we go, that's two completely different options there. You've got a really kind of fun, have a go type, kiddie type one, and then you've got a much more traditional, more seasonal looking cupcake one there with the tree and the van and all those bits and pieces. So I think there's quite a good variety in there, which shows you can do different things with this. It's not just limited to it all being sort of one way or the other. I have tried very much to make sure that Christmas is covered in all aspects. We do traditional Christmas painting as well, and not only that, we also do the fun stuff like the train as well. So lots of kind of different ideas there. So there we go, let's pop those down there. Okay, right, now what else can I do with those things? We're going to have a look now at the bauble. So this is our bauble cookie cutter, which we haven't talked about yet this year. I'm going to just move these out of the way so I don't end up damaging them. I'll bring everything in at the end so you'll see it all. So this is our bauble cookie cutter, and there are a number of things you can do with this. There it is. I'm not sure we're going to get 3 done. Well, it's maybe 2. It's being over ambitious then. So if you wanted to make, for example, a nice gonk one, there's a couple of ways you can do it. Number one is you can take hold of this sheet that we have got here. So this is the gonk sheet, and then take hold of, where is it? I've got piles of stuff around me. If you saw the other side of the screen, you'd laugh. an edible black pen. I'm going to pop that, I'm going to hold that in position, and I'm just going to run my pen around the outside edge. Across there. I won't need to go right to the top, I'll just go like that, that's fine. I've got a nice gonk in the middle there. And then I'm going to take my scissors. I'm going to just cut it out. What have I got on there? So I've got a bit of glue stuck to it, let me get rid of that. Right, so I'm going to just cut straight across there like that. Turn it round, like so. Put that out of the way. Now at this point here, I've still got this bit of glue stuck to me. I could take the backing sheet off. Okay, so if you find it a little bit easier to do that, and then we're going to grab hold of these. Now we've got these sheets, 3 sheets available at the moment. So we've got the fox and deer, we've got the gonk, and we've got the gingerbread house. So all of those will do for making baubles and crackers. So last week I made crackers, and we made those on the gingerbread sheet, if you remember. So this is the gonk one, and I'm just going to show you now how to do a bauble with the gonk. That's the idea anyway. That's the plan. Around like that. I don't think I'm going to need that bit across the top. Oh, no, that's fine. There he is. Right, so what we'll do next is we'll take hold of a little bit of white sugar paste. For a knife. It gets to winter and everything goes like a brick. Much more tricky. There we go. Give that a bit of a knead. Get it going. You need muscles in the winter to do cake decorating. Right, let's move that out of the way. Move that out of the way. Bring that in there. So these are on Let's Shop. You will see them on the site now. They're on top of a cupcake. So you'll see a picture of this bauble cookie cutter. Okay, so I'm going to take hold of that. Actually, I'm just going to make sure the black pen is not going to come out on the sugar paste. Clear that through, like so. Bauble. In fact, what I'll do is I'll cut 2 out while I'm here because I need them for another one. So let's do 2. So we'll just take our icing, pop that on there like so, and then pop that into position. You'll always be able to see a little bit of the cookie. It does tend to spread, only a little bit, but that's just what happens. So don't worry about, not being able to see the cookie. You could also use these baubles as a cutter going all around a cake. So if you were thinking, oh, I'd quite like to do a cake with some baubles hanging around the outside edge, you could use this cutter to do this without making any cookies at all. You can literally just roll out the sugar paste like I'm doing now, making your baubles and then attaching them to a cake. That would look really nice. That'd be a bit different. And just pop that on there. Give it a wiggle. Take that out. Bring that in. No, I've just changed my mind. I'm going to do it in navy. I'm allowed to change my mind. Don't tell anyone. We're going to do a navy one because I've just had a different thought. The thought processes are coming in, so we have to do it differently now. Backtrack, everybody. Right, a bit of icing sugar. So with something like a bauble, I mean, you literally have infinite possibility because there's just so many things you can do with it. Where do you start? There are just masses and masses and masses of baubles, so you could do anything, couldn't you, really? Okay. Right, let's grab that, put that on there. That'll make a bit more sense in a minute. I know what I'm doing, she says. Right, you sit there for a minute while I finish this one. Right, I'm going to stick this with water because it's it's a little bit bigger. We'll get the lid off this. Where are we? Paintbrush. Okay, so I'm just going to get a bit of water and just go straight across here. And then making sure I don't have any water on me. Pop that on there like so. I'm going to just go back to my painting for a second. Grab a little bit of this colour. This is Bright Gold, Wonder Dust Bright Gold, which again we do have on the site. And then we can just paint a little topper on there, just so it looks like it's hanging off something rather than just being the same colour. There we go, and you've got yourself then a gonk bauble cookie or cutter, depending it is what exactly it is you're going to do. But that's pretty easy, isn't it? That's not too difficult to do. And I think he's, as long as you sort of line him up, he is quite sweet actually. I'm looking at him now thinking, isn't he lovely? So that comes out of the sheet. Now the sheets that we print off are A4. So you should be able to get a lot of baubles out of there. If you look how big that sheet is, I've been gnawing away at the bottom of it, clearly doing some other projects. So I should be able to get quite a few out of there, but I think that's quite sweet actually, isn't it? Let's pop that there for the moment. Now this one, where's my scissors again? Here we go. So I was thinking more with this one, we will do, let's do the snowman because we've not done him yet. Bottom here again, we'll just peel. Now this isn't going to fit, this is going to be too small for this, but we can make use of it, which is what I'm trying to show you with this, so that you have got things that you can go, oh well actually I could do this with that. So I'm going to just give you some ideas to do with him that will be similar patterns, I guess, with the gonks. I don't know, you tell me what you think. I'm sure you will. So just cut that out, taking the backing off already. If you try and stick it down with the backing on, it won't work. So that will narrow it down a bit for you, won't it? Because it won't come off. Right, let's put a little circle in the middle there and we'll pop that on. Like so. And then what we could do, we could then literally, let's keep it very simple, shall we? Let's get our dotting tool out again and we'll just put some, so it looks like snow, won't it? Just put some little dots going around the outside edge of this particular bauble. And the navy blue obviously makes the white stand out massively, which is really nice, really lovely. You could stick sprinkles on instead if you prefer to do that option. I'm going to just flip my dotting tool over and just do a slightly smaller one in between. As quick as I can, because these are double-sided. There's a set of 5 dotting tools in a pack. So if you want to have a go with them, they are on Let's Shop. Let's Shop consists of usually a couple of pages. And then if you want to get other stuff from my website, you can move around. It will all go into the same basket. So if you want to go into cake painting or any of those, then you are able to do that as well. All right, we're nearly there. Something like that. And then we could take hold of our gold paint again, and then we could just paint this bit here just to indicate. I suppose that would be gold or silver, depending on you know, the look of your baubles, isn't it? Because they're normally the gold or silver. There we go. So you've got 2 alternatives there for using the bauble cookie cutter. So there's a couple of different things you can do using those little snow globe images as well, because obviously you can do a cupcake with that, you can do a bauble, and these again will all go on cupcakes. So if I bring my cupcakes in for a second, I've got a couple of spares, so we can try and make use of those. Icing. Use the dark green now, the dark green's on the go. So if I've got a cupcake like this without a picture in the middle, I can just take hold of this nozzle and I can just squeeze a bit harder, just get the icing out a bit bigger, just go around the outside edge. You can use a 1M nozzle if you want to just do one big swirl, but as I've got this nozzle on the go, I'm not going to bother to change my bag. and my buttercream's relatively behaving at the moment, so we'll stick with that. let's not make things too complicated. And again, we'll just go around. Like so. And we just fill that bit in because it doesn't really matter, to be honest. No one's going to see it, are they? We can take, so we can put him on there, for example, like that. So we can pop that on there, just press it down. So you can see it does fit a cupcake, so that's cupcake size. If you want to put a few little sprinkles on, you could do that. So if you want to take a few little sort of white sprinkles, probably tip it maybe that'll help them stick a little bit better. Bit of snow, isn't it, or something? There you go. Oh, I've missed a patch there. I need some there. There you go. So he would sit on there like that. I keep forgetting my camera's facing a different way today. So you could do that. So you can see it fits nicely on top of a cupcake. And again, with this one as well, exactly the same. You can just grab hold of a cupcake, do a bit of a swirl. Hopefully I've got enough to do this because my bag is getting quite empty. There's a minor amount of panic going on, but I'm just going to do the best I can. Just keep going. Can't really see this bit anyway, so I'll just blob that. Right, let's put that down so I can squeeze out the last bit of icing out of here, and we'll get through it. There we go. All right, done. Magic. And again, I think what I'll do this time is I'll put my sprinkles on straight away rather than me fiddling around with it. There, okay. So you've either got the option of putting on the little snow globe that sits on top of there, or again, you can just pop the bauble on there and you've got another kind of cupcake idea there. So you can see they do, let's pull this forward again, they do fit really nicely onto these cupcakes. Okay, like so, and there's our little one there. So there we go. So there's some cupcake ideas there for you, and there's 3 or 4 different ideas there using these little centres. So not only have we got them in the snow globes, we've got them on the baubles as well, and we have them in the cupcake a few minutes ago. Let's bring that back. Let's put those together like so. So you've got those in there as well. So there are several options. I don't want you to just think, oh, well, they're just for snow globes. They're not. Therefore, lots of other things as well. So you can mix and match and use everything across the board. So if you're making a few cookies, great. If you're making cupcakes, that's good. You can use everything across the board. Right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to show you how to use a completely different cookie cutter that we've had before in a different way. So this is a cookie cutter that you would normally associate with Halloween that we are now going to turn into a Christmas one. So you'll probably see it on the shop now and go, good grief, I can't believe it's that one, but we are going to turn another one round the other way. So I'm going to just move everything out of the way. Again, we will put pictures of all this up at the end so you can see everything. We're going to bring in this one here. So let's do a swap. In fact, what I'm going to do before I do that, I'm just going to remove some of these sprinkles, which are now gathering pace everywhere. Oh, don't you just love sprinkles at Christmas? They're always going absolutely everywhere. Right, let's get those into my hand and into the bin. There we go. Of course, the correct way of doing this is to actually do them inside a cake lid or something. Right, let me introduce you to this cookie cutter. So this is one we've had before. We didn't demonstrate it at Halloween. I forgot more than anything else, but we're now going, this is Dracula, by the way. So this is what our Dracula normally looks like. He's normally got his great face and his cloak and all these other bits and pieces. But we're going to use him for Christmas, and we're going to turn him upside down. That way round. So hopefully that's given the game away what's going to happen, because I think you already can guess looking at it this way round. And we will start turning him into a snowman. So let's turn him, snowman's head anyway, head of a snowman. So we're going to take hold of some, let's do the white first before my hands get covered in the wrong colour, otherwise I'll end up with funny colour. No, that's got funny colour in it. Let's start with a new one. Okay, you'll like him because he's very quick, he's very straightforward. and he's super effective. So if you want to have a go with him at any point, you will find you'll be able to do a lot with him very quickly. I'm just seeing if I've got that bit of paste I was looking for. Can't see it. Right, let's get rid of that. Bring that in. Put that up there, and we'll give this a bit of a knead to start with. Okay. A little bit of icing sugar down, and then we're going to just roll this out. Then we'll bring our plastic scraper in because we need that. We're going to pop that on there. Press down. Give it a wiggle. Like that. Turn it upside down. Make sure it's cut out okay. I'm just going to mark that bit there. I don't really need it. You'll see why in a minute. And then we'll take that out, put that there. We're going to roll it out again. I'm reading your comments about sprinkles and glitter getting everywhere, yep. I think this could be Willy Wonka as well, you know, because he's about to have a film, isn't he? So, which obviously I'll be going to see because Hugh Grant's in it. So there's a complete done deal as far as I'm concerned. Bit more icing sugar. There we go. Down like that. And then I'm going to take hold of this again. Now, this time we're just going to cut out the top part, and we're not going to turn it over and press it down. We're just going to cut through because we don't want any of the markings on there, because don't forget this mould has been built for a completely different character. We just need that outside shape. All right, so whatever you do, don't flip it over and pick up all the markings underneath, otherwise you're going to have the wrong shape. And then we're going to just take our tool and we're going to cut all the way across like that. Okay, and then we're going to do exactly the same with this one. So we're going to take that and cut straight across like so. So we don't want that bit. We're just going to trim the side of his face up a little bit because we don't need those bits either. Okay, bring that in, and we're going to put that down. We're going to pop that on like so. Now we'll take his hat, and we're going to put his hat on. He comes together very, very quickly. You'll be like, wow, is that it? That's it. We're going to take hold of a little bit of red, and we're just going to make a little, there it is. I knew I'd made a little bit of orange up. Perfect. Right, just take hold of a little bit of red. Just roll that like so, just so we get a bit of a band going. Just cut the end off. And then we'll just take, I've got the chunkiest brush in there, I don't want that. Take a little bit of, just dab a little bit across there like so. And then we'll pop that over the top, and we'll just cut it. And then we'll wrap it round a little bit. Like that. We'll grab hold of a sprinkle because we've got them, and we'll put a little blob on there. And we'll put a little snowflake on there. Use it on there like that. There we go. Clean his face up a little bit. Right, where is that tiny bit of orange I had 2 seconds ago? It was here. Where are you, you devil? There it is. Right, let's make his nose. So again, just a tiny little bit of orange sugar paste. Just roll it into a ball and then roll it into a cone shape. Let's make his nose a bit bigger than that. So into a ball and then into a cone like so. Let's just grab his A little bit of royal icing, we'll pop that in the middle, and then we'll pop it at a little bit of an angle, shall we? Like so. There we go. Now I then used my cookie eyes, which we have on our site. We use these for loads of different projects, and we'll just put a little bit of glue there and there. Grab one and then the other one, and then press them down, so embed them into the sugar paste to make sure they're not going to go anywhere. And then the next bit, you can either do it with a pen or you can do it with your paintbrush and your cocoa butter paint, so whichever you've got. I know some of you bought the Santa kits last week, so you probably will have these pens or pens equivalent. We had some different pens in last week for those kits, but you could use those to do their smile instead rather than using the paint. But I'm going to use the paint as soon as I find my actual paintbrush. What's this one? Yeah, this is it. So I'll just take the gold paint out like so. Grab a little bit of paint, don't need very much, and we'll give him a bit of a wonky smile. So we'll just take our brush and we'll just literally go like that up the side of him. We'll give him a little, there we go. And then just to make sure he's looking bright and happy and smiley, because it does make all the difference, we're going to grab our dotting tool again, and we're just going to take a little bit of white paint and we're just going to pop that onto the sprinkle, and then it makes his eyes pop like so. There we go, and that's it. That is our Dracula cookie cutter repurposed into a snowman. So he is on the site. You will find him already shown as a snowman, but he is Dracula as well. We normally turn him around the other way and do him as Dracula. So if you want to get him, you will find it looking like this on the website, but he is listed as a snowman / Dracula. So don't get too carried away there, but that's exactly what it is on there. Okay. So that's that. So we've got one more thing to do, then we're going to put everything together in a box. So we're going to have a look at putting all these together to make another treat box. So last week we made a sort of treat box for Santa. This week we're going to make a bit more of a kind of generalised one. So I'm just going through things sort of rapidly so you can kind of see what it is that you can do. So last week we did Letters from Santa. So from those of you that didn't see it, or for those of you that did see it, but these are the small version of it, we're just going to do the mini version. So this is, they're not minis, they're small. They're not cupcake size, they're too big for cupcakes. With this concept it doesn't quite work. So we have a Santa letter writing kit. So if you want to make Santa letter cookies, then this is what you need. So in the kit we have got two of these, a large one and a small one. I'll show you the large one in a minute. This is the small one, and all we're going to do is roll it out a bit more because I haven't done it enough. A bit more there. I'm just going to move my snowman out of the way so I don't get him damaged. I've already rolled over the cookie, that's not very helpful, is it? And the moral of this story is don't roll over the cookie. Right, you don't need all the heart and everything in there because these cookie cutters were actually invented for Valentine's Day last year, but we're just interested in the shape, so you don't need to turn them over. You're just going to accept the shape as is. We're going to just pop some glue onto, there we go, onto our cookie. Pop that on there and hopefully it will cover up the fact I have just rolled over the corner of it. There we go, that's fine. That'll be fine. And then we had our Christmas stamps. So we had stamps this year. I'm just trying to reach them. Oh, everything too far behind. These are our Christmas stamps. So these are for the large ones and these are for the small ones. We also used these on the crackers last week. So if you want to put these images onto the crackers, they work really, really well with that as well. You could even put them on the baubles, but because they're square, you might find it a bit, oh, not sure about this, but anyway, you could if you wanted to. So again, these are on backing paper, so you can see there is backing paper going on. So that has to come off. So I'm just going to peel that one back, and we'll take Father Christmas here at the bottom. And all I'm going to do is just cut him out. Cut you out, Father Christmas. Take you away. Now the larger ones I did do with some of the other sheets. So I did it with the gingerbread house sheet. I will show you that in a second, but these are a little bit smaller. So you can still do it, but it's a little bit tighter. So I did it with these last week. So let me find the big one. So there's the big one. Okay, so this is the little one. So if you don't want to do all the sort of work around the outside edge, you don't have to. But if you do, then obviously you've got to do it on a slightly smaller scale because this is a smaller cookie. But all I did was take hold of my sheet and then just took my scissors and just cut some thin strips. I actually did this with one of those sort of slidey guillotine things because I've got one, but I haven't got it on me at the moment. So I'm just going to cut some little strips there. And we'll cut another one. It just means they're a bit more equal than my sort of rubbishy guest cutting. Simple as that, really. Let's not jazz it up any other way. That's what it is. Right. So again, you just take a little bit of water, just pop that around the outside edge. If you want to do it on this, you don't have to. You can just do them plain. And then I just took hold of the edge and just stick them down. Making sure, of course, you don't get any water on them, because if you do, the print's going to come off. And then cut. Turn it again. Do the other strip. This is where you'll see how bad my cutting was. It's not too bad. So if you've got little odds ends of a sheet left over, they are quite good for doing these type of things. I want you to, if you buy sheets off me, to be able to repurpose them in many, many different ways, because then at least you feel like you're getting your money's worth and you've not just ended up with a whole sheet because you decided to do one bauble. You know, you've actually had a go at maybe doing some letters and other things. So we'll put our stamp on now. This is just quite a nice activity to do with kids, to be honest with you. We need to put our watermark on. That's very important to make sure it has actually gone to Santa. So if you are doing this while the sugar paste is still soft, you have to do it with the lightest touch possible. So if you're doing it with kids, it might be worth just leaving it to dry then, maybe overnight, so that they've got a bit more kind of ability to sort of put some pressure onto it. Otherwise it can be a little bit more tricky. We'll do a shorter message here because obviously we've got less space, but we can put sort of 2. And then we'll do Santa, just put 2 Santa. How about that? 2, I'll do Santa. I didn't go for any special sort of lettering or writing kits or anything. I thought your own handwriting is fine for this. Just make sure you spell it right. You'd be amazed what you can spell wrong when you're doing it slowly. Or not, as the case may be, but you know what I mean. There we go. So something like that, 2 Santa. So this is part of our letter writing kit that we had last week. And that's the small version, that's the large version. I was quite keen to show you the difference between the two of them. The ribbon cutter won't work on these sheets because the ribbon cutter is not sharp enough to get through the paper, so you would need to cut it manually with scissors. Right, I'm just going to have a little reorganisation here now, because I'm going to attempt to try and put everything together so you can have a look at everything we've done today. Now, we did start a little bit earlier today, so for those of you that tuned in a little bit later, we did start at 9:30 this morning. So if that applies to you and you want to catch up, then once the live's over, you will be able to go back and watch everything again, either here or on my YouTube channel under lives. If you have a look on there, you'll be able to see it. Right, I'm just making some space because there is none. And in order for me to be able to show you anything, we've got to have some space back. So whilst I'm doing this, you can have a little look at the Santa bits on there. Right, we're getting there. I can just about see the table now, which is a slight improvement. Right, let's move this out of the way. Always remember to blow out the candle. Let's put that back there. Right, okay. I nearly have a table to see. I'm just going to move those out of the way. Give this a bit of a clean, just so that it doesn't look as messy as it currently is. And then I'm going to show you what we've done and what I have Made another treat box. So last week's treat box, I'm going to show you that one first. So last week I made this one. So this was our Santa themed cake box last week. So this is the one that included all things Santa. So we had our Santa cookie cutter, which we sold out of, but we've got more back in now. Our lovely reindeer, which is just the most loveliest cutter ever. The post box, because obviously we're sending Santa a letter, and then part of the Santa writing kit. And there's the little stamps I said that we've just used that you can also use on the crackers as well. And our beloved Christmas jumpers, which we do in mini and large as well. So that was last week's idea. So I've made another one, of course. This one is a bit more random Christmas, but it gives you a little bit of an idea of what to do to put things together. So these boxes are on our site. They're under treat boxes. They come in packs of 2. And this one here, so we've got our lovely gonk or gnome. We've got our teddy holding his little present, which has been made from the gonk wrapping paper. We've got the gonk snow globe there. We've got a little Santa jacket, and we've got our letter to Santa there ready to go. Actually, it doesn't have the watermark on it, so that's got to be put on. Otherwise, it's not been delivered, has it? We can't have that. I'd be very upset otherwise. So let's put that on there now while we remember. There we go. We need to have that on there. Say it's actually gone through the system, hasn't it? There we go. Now it's got its watermark on. Happy days. The candy cane, which we made last week as well, you can now see that on the site. There's a little bauble there, which actually we could replace with the gonk one, couldn't we? Where's the gonk one gone? Oh no, I put it on a cupcake, didn't I? No, I can't do that then. And then the snowman, he's sitting in there as well. So there's another little box of ideas there for you, things that you can make to put together for Christmas. So there's lots of different ideas in there, and hopefully we're giving you plenty of things to look at so that you have got a bit more of an idea of what you're doing this Christmas, whether you choose to do a box or whether you choose to make a few bits and pieces from some of the things that I've shown you over the last few weeks. So I'm going to swap over now and bring back in the stuff that we've made this morning so you can have another look at it. And we've got it all together. There we go. We've had a very busy morning, haven't we? There's our little snow globes, and then we've got our gonks as well. Right, gosh, we're going to get it all on screen. And there's our mini gonk. Put you next to that. That one there. And then we've also got the snowman as well. There we go. Right. Perfect. Look at that. That fits, doesn't it? Happy days. There we go. So that's everything that I've made this morning on Let's Shop. So that's hopefully given you loads of ideas to carry on making things for Christmas. I forgot my letter. I'm going to be in trouble because I forgot my Santa letter. There we go. Put that in there as well. God, we've been extremely busy this morning. There we go. Everything's there, all in place together. So we've got everything that we need for Christmas. Right, here I am. For those of you who haven't seen me yet this morning, been looking at my hands all morning. Right, so Let's Shop started this morning at 9:30, so we are finishing early at 11:30 this morning. So I'm just going to run through everything that I have talked and shown this morning. So we started off with the cake school. As usual, we are going to be having a live. She says looking for a piece of paper with her notes on it, which is buried. Let me just get it so I remember everything. Right, I've got it. So we're going to be having a live on Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock. Please remember those lives do not take place on this site. They take place on my main site, which is this one at Tracey Mann Cakes. And we're going to be painting Hogwarts this week. So all the Harry Potter cookie cutters are now available on the website. We're just waiting for the Hogwarts Express train to come in. So if you order that, it will say awaiting stock. Once that stock comes in, we're expecting it in on Tuesday. We will then continue to send out the rest of your order. We will wait until that comes in. But in the meantime, all the Harry Potter stuff is still available, and we've got 2 more different designs coming in as well. We do have Black Friday bags. They're the only thing we do on our site for Black Friday. I don't know if there's any left, but if you want to go and have a look, you're very welcome. You will find, or they always sell out very, very quickly. So if you do want one of those bags, you need to be very, very quick. Yes, when I went live this morning, there was only 3 left, so you need to be very quick on that. We also talked about the new train class that's coming out later today, so our Christmas train, and we have got our beginners cocoa butter cake painting challenge starting on the 1st of January to the 14th of February for the lovely Cake School. So if you want to find out more information about the Cake School, do go across there and have a look. We've also got our lovely beginners cocoa butter Christmas cake painting class, so if you want to get involved in this and you want to have a go at painting these images for Christmas, they are all on the Cake School now. So if you want to have a go at them, go over there, sign up or become a member, and you will have full access to that, and then you will be able to have a go at painting along with me. And I keep saying New Year's resolution and all that, as soon as the while this weather's all cold and dark and typically winter, then why not have a go at doing some cake painting with me, because you'll just love it. It is one of the most loveliest things to do, so why not get involved in that. We also have gift vouchers. I did mention those as well. We have very high sales of gift vouchers in the week leading up to Christmas, purely because most people, including partners and husbands, don't get themselves organised in time, and we're happy to help. So if you have got somebody who is trying to buy you a present and doesn't get round to it at the last minute, we do have vouchers for the Cake School, and we have vouchers for Let's Shop Cake Live. So just let me know which one you want, but you will find them on my website, so go looking for them. They are there. They are set at an amount, but if you want to have a different amount, send me an email and we will organise that for you. Those are sent via email, so once you've got your voucher, you'll be able to print it off, and there you will have your voucher ready for Christmas. So that's nice and quick. We don't have to rely on the post there. So just remember as well that Royal Mail is now under loads of pressure with Black Friday, so it is very busy. So our normal 2 to 4 working days now extends to up to 7, if not 14. So the post has slowed down dramatically. We are still sending stuff out very, very quickly. Our next lot of posts will leave here on Tuesday, so anybody who's not had notification their order hasn't gone, from Tuesday onwards, that's when the next lot of orders will start to go, because I am going to the Netherlands this afternoon. Isn't that exciting? I'm going to visit Kelly this afternoon, and I'm going to a Christmas market in Belgium on Sunday. So that's where I'm heading shortly. That's why we're on a little bit earlier today, in order to give me enough time to go home, pack and get to the airport. So that's where I'm going. So I will be back on Tuesday, and then we will be continuing with posting out mail order and also our live on Tuesday. So we've been very busy today with all our bits and pieces. So we've made snow globes, we've made cupcakes, we've made baubles, we've made large and small gonks. So there's all sorts of different things on there. We've turned our Dracula cookie cutter into the snowman, and we've made more letters for Santa as well. And again, I did show you those treat boxes, which are something that we've put together as we've been going through the weeks, making all this stuff. And actually, as we start to go through, that's when the treat boxes start to come together, because we've got lots and lots of different bits and pieces that we can put in and show you exactly what it is that we go. Now, we don't want to be buying anything from there. We want to go to Let's Shop Cake Live for all the products. Once you go into Let's Shop Cake Live, you'll realise you're on my main website, which is traceyscakes.co.uk, and you can move around that site and add to your basket. So if you want to buy anything else from my site, you are welcome to do so. It will all go into the same basket. Right, okay, so I think we're near enough there now, on the basis I have got to drive to the airport. If you have any questions about anything connected with anything that we've shown you, whether it's classes or whether it's any of our products, then do please get in touch via email, and I'll be more than happy to help you. I'm very grateful for everybody that tunes in every Saturday morning to watch us. And obviously, if you're not watching on Saturday morning and you are watching, lots of people watch Saturday night. I know that because we have lots of orders in on Saturday nights, or even Sundays when you're having a day off. But then do thank you so much for everybody that does place. Every order that you place with us does help and count, because without you buying all these products, it's very difficult for me to actually have a position to be actually baking them for you. So thank you to everyone that is supporting us at the moment and buying classes or becoming a member or getting involved with all of our creations for Christmas. And we want you to have a really lovely Christmas and lots of things to look at as well. So what I'm going to do is I will put up a new post, and it will come up shortly as to when the next live will be. So I've got to just kind of work that schedule out. As soon as that comes up, then don't forget to press going or interested, because then Facebook will remind you that I'm going live. It won't force you to attend, but it will definitely remind you. And those reminders are very helpful, because you see lots lots of things on Facebook when you're scrolling through, or Instagram, or any of these things. And if you just click going or interested, then it will remind you. And that also applies to the live on Tuesday evening, where I will be painting Hogwarts on a cookie cutter. And don't forget, if you do want to join in with that, then all the Hogwarts stuff is available now. So that's it for today's lives. Thank you very much for everybody attending, watching, commenting, asking questions. I will answer everything as much as I possibly can. And I will see you all again soon. So take care, have a lovely day, and enjoy the weather. It's not raining, that's the point. Right, see you all soon. Bye.